Good morning. How is everybody? So I am going to need you guys to let me know in the comments if you are here. So say hi if you're here. I'm just going to give you a few minutes. To find me, because this is my first time going live on here like this. So I'm sure it's new to each and every one of you. So if you're here, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, whatever it is, just let me know. And I will make sure I'm posting this. All right, so I'm just going to get rolling because I've got the link shared and you will be able to find me. Awesome. So if you are not familiar with who I am, my name is Michelle Fries. I'm a spiritual results coach and I help ambitious men and women worldwide stop settling and claim their divine destiny, release the illusions of lack, unlock their own channel of abundance, their own flow of abundance, their own windfall of abundance. Whatever that looks like to them, I have zero judgment. It doesn't matter to me as long as it's abundance to them. So before I was getting on, there was so many messages coming in and of what I get to talk about today and all kinds of amazing things. And I would like to just start with thanking each and every one of you for watching this, thanking each and every one of you for being in my community, whether that's on my Facebook or my Instagram or my YouTube or in my email, wherever that is, because each and every one of you is the reason that I show up. Each and every one of you is the reason that I'm here. You guys are the reason that I bring it. You guys are the reason that I get the information that I get. If there is something that you guys need to hear or need me to teach, that's why I learn it. So I just want to say thank you for each and every one of you, even though you may not know it, that's what's happening. And the reason I keep stepping up and leveling up is because you guys are all bringing it. So give yourselves a pat on the back. Now, with that said, there are so many questions that I get asked each and every day. And one of the common things that comes in is the difference in, I guess it's a judgment. So what happens is I have people messaging and asking, do you believe in God? Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in Buddha? Do you believe in, like, whatever it is that they believe in? Because they want to make sure that whoever they're talking to believes in the same thing as them. They want to make sure that whoever they're receiving information from is on the same page as them, has the same belief system as them. So one thing that is super important to me is to be neutral on anything and everything. So if there is something that I dislike, I do my best to get neutral on it so that it doesn't have a negative effect on me. If there's something you dislike and you're not being neutral on it, it will have a negative effect on you. It will definitely have a more adverse negative effect on you than whatever it is. So I just want to be clear about that. Yes, I talk about God. Yes, I talk about the universe. Yes, I talk about angels. Yes, I talk about all kinds of different things out there. Yes, I talk about the creator. To me, as long as your source isn't negative, dramatic, coming from a place of lack, it doesn't matter. And if I'm not neutral on it, I will get neutral on it. Because the last thing I want to do is limit spirit, limit the information I could receive. If you are 100% firm believer in Jesus or God or angels or creator or whatever it is, and that's what you believe is bringing you miracles and your source, that's who I want to talk to. Whatever source is in your highest and best interest, that's where I want to receive the information. And so that's where I receive it from. Now, if I came at it from the perspective of, well, I don't believe in that, well, whatever, it's not going to be beneficial for all of us. It's not going to be beneficial for anybody. It's my job to be neutral. It's my job to be judgment-free. And it's your job to get that way if you're not already. So why am I an expert at being neutral? Why am I an expert at believing there's a higher power or a source out there? Because I came from the place of believing that everything was completely effed up. There was nothing good. Nothing ever worked out. You couldn't have what you wanted, all those different things. I was there. In fact, I grew up with absolutely no religion. I grew up thinking religion was horrific. And there was a point in time when I could barely even say the word God without cringing because of what I believed, what I was taught as a young child, what types of memories I had in my energy field. So I did some work. I did a lot of work, and I got neutral on the things I needed to be neutral on. I got super freaking positive on the things I needed to be positive on. And that's possible for each and every one of you too. Now, what does it look like when you're coming from a place of lack? Well, I've always had this gift. I've always had the gift to just know things, to hear things, to see things, to have information before others seem to have it. Only prior to this, it seemed more like I used to think of it as more like a curse than a gift or than a benefit. And the reason being was each and every one of us has these filters. These are filters, these are rose-colored glasses, they're whatever it is, it's part of your past. And before we move forward, a lot of us are having to relive and get through the past to live in the now. And that is what I was doing. Or a lot of us have these sources of information around that aren't serving our highest and greatest. And so when I did this prior to getting really serious and strengthening my muscles, let's say, prior to doing that, I would have all kinds of information. I definitely would receive information. I would receive information about something bad that was going to happen. I would receive information about not good things. It definitely wasn't good things that I was receiving information about. I would receive information about something negative about a person opposed to what was great about the person. I would receive information about a negative thought somebody was having towards me opposed to a positive thought that they were having. And that doesn't serve anyone. However, I believe at that point in time, being a teenager or whatever that was, it was really beneficial for me to know when something bad was going to happen, because I got my friends out of a lot of really shitty situations. I got myself out of a lot of really shitty situations. And so at each given time, we have what is exactly perfect for us at that time. But what my point is here is now I'm at the point to where I hear all these things and it's amazing things. And when I actually see something dramatic or negative happen or something undesirable happens, at one point in time, I was like, well, how come I didn't get that information? And I was feeling like, do I even have abilities? And what happened was I was shifting and transitioning from where I seen the lack, where I seen the negative, where I was attracting the drama, where I was reliving my past to get to the now. And I shifted into this person who was seeing the positive, into this person who was believing in the positive, into this person who was fucking shocked when something negative happened, because I was no longer in that vibration. Does it mean that negative things can't happen when you reach that vibration? No, but it doesn't mean that you are consistently attracting them. When you are shocked that something negative happens, that is where you want to be. You don't want to be in the energy of being shocked that a miracle happens or something marvelous happens. That is not where you want to be. So just to be clear, that shift is possible for every single one of you. That shift takes a different amount of time for each and every one of us, depending on where we came from. And that shift is in all areas of our life. We get to do that in love. We get to do that in money. We get to do that in beliefs. We get to do that in health. We get to do that in wealth, whatever it is. All areas of our life. And the more areas that we embrace that neutrality or get really freaking positive and really focused on what we desire and let the rest of it just fall away and honestly unfreaking plug from it. It's important that you unplug from whatever it is you do not want more of. Whatever source is bringing you hurt, harm, any type of lack, any type of hurt, unplug. That seems dramatic, but I'm telling you, the only thing you want to be plugged into is the things that are in your highest and best, the things that are making your heart sing, the things that are bringing you joy. And when you do that, you don't need to specify, this. That vibration, everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when you are continuously focused and plugged into things that you desire, that you want more of, that vibration will bring in more of the same vibration. It may not be what you thought it was going to look like. It may be different. It may be a little bit weird. It may be like a little bit out of your comfort zone. I'm encouraging you to say yes. I'm encouraging you to bust out of that freaking box that you have yourself in that is funneling anything you don't desire in and to just let it go. So with that said, I absolutely love this saying that you see on the screen, and it says, believe you deserve it and the universe will serve it. That's true. So if you take a look at your reality, if you take a look at your life, if you take a look at your business, if you take a look at your bank account, if you take a look at your body, if you take a look at your fridge, your house, your car, your marriage, whatever that is a reflection of your beliefs. That is exactly what you believe you are worthy of, you deserve. That is why you're creating it. You are a powerful being. And everything that's in here is being brought into your reality. So if there's something that isn't the way that you desire or feels less than what you are worthy of or what your soul really, really, really longs for, then you get to shift your belief system around it. It is up to you to shift your belief system around it. It is up to you to make the decision to change your mindset. It is up to you to make the decision to create new beliefs. There's hard ways and easy ways of doing that. The hard way would be to consistently override any of them thoughts that you weren't worthy of it and do that on a regular basis. There are easier ways to create brain change and pretty much reprogram your computer system to instantly create what you like. Now, oftentimes, myself or even clients, we reprogram and we create what we like or what we desire. And then when we do that, there are more beliefs that come up and step in the way of us actually having it to the fullest extent that is available to us. Therefore, there's a little bit more work because we are constantly growing. But in no way do I ever want you to believe, if you're that person who's believing that that's just not for you, if you're that person who's just believing that it's going to take a long time or it takes hard work or that there's a lack, if you're that, I'm hearing car salesmen who thinks that you're in a competition with other car salesmen, or if you're a healer and you think you're in competition with other healers, or if you're a hockey player and or a golfer and you think you're in competition with the other golfers, I have a news flash for you. You're not in competition with anybody. When you have all that's available to you, your soul-aligned clients, your soul-aligned wins, your soul-aligned life, your soul-aligned abundance will naturally, you will just have this funnel. It's like you will have this funnel above your head and all the freaking best ideas and the best everything will just continuously funnel into you, and everything that is yours and everything you've ever dreamed of and everything you've ever fantasized about will start to be your reality. And it takes, well, maybe you can answer this for me, but think about it. Is it easy to create a successful business? Is it easy to create a successful marriage? Is it easy to do whatever it is? Is it easy to, win a gold medal or whatever that is? It is easy to get a record label. It is easier if you shift your programming to believe it is, first of all, and second of all, It is just as hard or just as much work as it is to continuously create the shit that you don't want, to continuously struggle and battle and be confused and second guess yourself and trial and error. It is just as much work, takes the same effort to believe and to attract lack as it does to shift to believe and attract abundance. So that's your decision. That's a choice you get to make. Any source. So when I said I believe in various different sources, I communicate with various different, whatever is in the highest and best interest of my clients, whatever is the highest and best interest of me. It's important that you know that none of them want lack for you. In fact, if there's ever a time that you receive something of lack, there's a lesson. You receive the information, you learn the lesson, and instantly it will turn into a source of abundance, a blessing. It always freaking does. How many times have I heard, oh my gosh, this is very common. We were working on my relationship. People will come to me with, wanting to work on their relationship and the person that they thought that they were destined to be with. And we will work at whatever's in their highest and best, and we will shift their beliefs. And sometimes that person, in most cases, you can make anything work for your highest and best when it's in your highest and best, as long as you are persistent and you change your perception and you choose to put the effort into greatness instead of lack. But on the odd occasion, there will be someone who, and it's not really an odd occasion, it's on the perfect occasion, and on the occasion that is meant to be exactly as it is, that person will no longer be with the person they thought they were destined to be with. And the reason for that is exactly what I just spoke about. There was a lesson to learn. There was a lesson to be learned. You learned the lesson, and every freaking time that I can think of right now, every time something even better than they imagined came in. Another example, jobs. They lose a job, they get fired, whatever it is. This is huge right now. Jobs is huge. Every single time that they miss an opportunity, it's an opportunity for you to not look at it as a problem, to not look at it as if you're broken, but to look at it as an opportunity to see what the lesson was and to be grateful for the blessing and what it brought to your life, because it was preparing you for exactly what you are here for. Sometimes it was just that you needed to shift your perspective or your belief or whatever it is a little tiny bit to be able to welcome that opportunity into your life. Sometimes that opportunity wasn't right for you. And often what happens when people are in my container and working with me is we shift so fast that what was right for you last week isn't right for you the next week, because it's just like, all right, moving on, right? That is how come I am unapologetically changing my business, what I offer, on a consistent basis, because I was growing at a rapid rate. And those who were ready and willing to grow with me are still with me. And those who weren't, are wherever is right and perfect for them. And those who decide to go in on the journey with me will rejoin at the right and perfect time. Regardless, that's how it works. There is no lack, though. If you are living a soul-aligned life, there's no lack in love, there's no lack in wealth, there is no lack in money, there is no lack in any area. So I just want to really, really touch base on that, because each and every one of us has the opportunity to have all that we desire, that we fantasize about, that we dream of. Because even if you're jealous of it, if somebody has an amazing house and you're jealous, somebody has an amazing man and you're jealous, the only reason that you were able to be jealous about that is because you know on a soul level that there is something preventing you from having that, because that's available to you. And so be grateful that that jealousy showed up. Be grateful that that anger showed up. Be grateful that that trigger showed up, and look at it as an opportunity to remove that button that was being pushed. And when you remove that button that was being pushed, you can bring that into your now, into your reality. And when you look at some of the things out there that we are not loving, and you look at it as an opportunity instead of a problem, and you shift your perspective around it, you can shift your reality much quicker. And there's a lot to learn around shifting your perspective, and it takes practice. And sometimes it takes shifting your beliefs before you can even shift your perspective. And that's what I needed to do when it was around religion or source or belief that there was even freaking miracles, that miracles were even possible. And once I did that and I shifted all of those things that I learned from pretty much ages 0 to 7, then miracles, positive things that I desired, even just as simple as looking at my abilities to know, think, believe, feel, hear, whatever it is, shifted into a much more positive and continues to become a much more powerful, positive source. And so that is why when a client, for example, will come to me and I will just receive information and they're like, how did you know that? And then they go and take action on something, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, that's exactly where they were supposed to be. That's exactly what they were meant to be. That's exactly, and it created exactly what they wanted. It didn't necessarily look, think, or feel what their humanness had limited it to, but it worked out. That is exactly the type of miracles that are available to you. That is exactly the type of miracles that are available to all of humanity. When you start to shift your perception and you start to tap into abundance and get aligned with your own truth. And a lot of times what I find is people avoid their own truth, because sometimes you got to get through some shit that you don't like to get to the truth. The shit that you don't want to hear, the shit that you don't want to see, the shit that you don't want to relive, the shit that you don't want to bring up, the shit you don't want to talk about, whatever that is. when you get on the other side, all of a sudden, that isn't shit anymore. All of a sudden, that pile of shit was a blessing, because you wouldn't be where you are now without it. And sometimes when a pile of shit comes into my world, even to this day, I'm still a human and I'm like, ugh. And then I decide to look at what the blessing, what the opportunity is in it for me. And when I choose to look at it from that perspective, there's a whole different reality that comes out of it. It doesn't turn into months or days of years of bad luck or whatever it is. It turns into maybe an energy clearing, because there's some things that got into my energy field that aren't serving me, and that, you know, for example, the whole world has things that are, there's a higher purpose to them, and we may not know what it is. However, we're intelligent beings, we are energy, and regardless of what you believe or what you think, you are the collective consciousness is being brought in. And so when that comes in and we don't clear that out of our energy field, those lower vibrational thoughts, emotions, feelings sit there and start lingering, it starts creating more and more and more and more. And it's like a breeding grounds for that lower vibration. It could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as changing a belief. It could be as simple as letting someone or something go that no longer is in your highest and best interest. There are various different scenarios of what it could possibly be. However, anytime something you love or something you don't love shows up, it's an opportunity to say yes. It's an opportunity to create new. It's an opportunity to let go of the old and make space for the new. So with that said, really, I just want to give each and every one of you the opportunity who's watching this, and whatever time you're watching this, it's the right and perfect time. We're just gonna remove those energies that are in your energy field, right? So I'm working with your team. So whoever your team is, your team could be freaking Pinocchio. As long as his nose ain't growing, I don't give a shit, right? I'm always making sure it's in your highest and best interest. So we're clearing out all that's in your energy field that doesn't serve you, that isn't serving your highest and best interest. This could be emotions, this could be thoughts. Some of these beliefs are just so freaking ready to go that we can just clear them without even having to talk about it, without you having to show up. And this is super, 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 super powerful. And one of my quantum leapers that's a program that I offer, Quantum Leap Academy, was pretty much every single day. What we're doing right now, it's going to take a little bit longer because I'm not working with each and every one of you, but what we're doing right now, I do for the quantum leapers every single day, right? We go, I don't see them, but energetically I clear what is no longer serving them, what has unintentionally got in from something they watched on social media, the news, at the grocery store, something they experienced during their sleep, something they seen on a movie, whatever it is, something they overheard in the coffee shop, something they didn't even know they overheard in the coffee shop. Like, are you getting what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff is just unconsciously coming in, mostly because of beliefs and things we have that we don't even know that we have, or just because we entertain the drama on social media. If you are the person who is consistently having drama in your life and constantly posting about drama and shit like that on your Facebook, don't be surprised if you get more of it. Don't be surprised if that's what it's all about. Yes, it gets followers. Yes, it gets attention. But is that what you want more of? Ask yourself. And this, like, so much energy is clearing. And I hope that I'm triggering the shit out of some of you, because it's a reality check for you. There is so much better things we can do with our energy and time than entertain the negativity or the drama, and to choose to shift it or change it. We're just going to clear that vibration out of your, we'll clear it out of your social media, we'll clear it out of your business, we'll clear it out of your personal belongings, we'll clear it out of your pets. Okay, we'll clear it out of your pests too. Yes, whatever is a pest, we're clearing it out of that. In all areas of your life, anything that has been brought up from anything that I mentioned during this entire live, letting go of the illusions of lack. So anywhere that you are hanging on to the illusions of lack, of you have to work hard to make a living, of when it, oh, that's a good one. When it rains, it pours. So honestly, this just came in for me into my own life. And people say that in a negative way, but it can also happen in a positive way. And sometimes there can be so many positive and amazing things coming in. It just feels like so much or too much. And we start speaking that, and we start being ungrateful for that. And we start feeling overwhelmed instead of just saying yes and realizing that whatever we, and if there's, for example, 5 job opportunities present themselves all of a sudden, and you're just like, you know what? Just trust, believe that you're going to choose the one that is perfect and right for you. Because, or on the other aspect of it, when it rains, it pours with bad stuff. Like I welcome you to release that limiting belief, because if it's going to continuously rain and pour with bad stuff, and if this is a continuous health issue showing up, or a continuous depression or emotional issue, or accidents, let's say, or whatever that is, That's an opportunity to look at what keeps bringing that energy into your world. And if you're consistently getting showed the same thing, that is consistently saying, you know, it's like a sign being put up like, hello, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. There's some buttons to be removed there. There's some rose-colored glasses to be taken off. There's some filters. There's some work, regardless if that is something you can do yourself or not. It's still what you are here to do. You get to decide, do you want more of that or do you want to focus on something different? I myself even hire a coach, a mentor to get me out of my own stuff. When that happens, often it's not easy. And when you go to your friend or your parent or whoever that is, your partner, a lot of times they can't see through that shit either, because the reason that they are in your life is because they got some of it too. So step outside of that box and find someone who specializes, that you vibe with in transitioning, creating transformations in those areas, or in that area, or in just your entire life or business in general, and let it go. Because that's exactly what I do, and that's what works. That's why I do what I do, because it freaking works. Created this recipe. I've learned so many different things and so many different techniques in so many different ways. No, I don't. I'm not freaking married. Does it mean I can't help somebody with their relationship? No, because I have a different perception of it. I go in with a neutral perception of it. I hear divinely guided messages that are right and perfect for them. Maybe marriage isn't, you know, maybe they didn't have as much work to do in the area of love, but their work is in health, and their body's shutting down, and they're creating illnesses and diseases to get the attention of the humanness, because there's other areas. Maybe they were here to learn something else, and maybe whatever that is showing up in a different way. Maybe they were here to learn together in their marriage, not alone. Maybe they were here to have 17 kids. Whatever it was, that's their journey. Regardless of what it is, that's their journey. Maybe they were here to learn love, and they're just learning about it in a little bit different way than me. Regardless, as a collective, we shift together, and the information still comes in, because I remove all the filters I possibly can around love, around money, around wealth, around same thing, wealth. Can I help somebody who has $1 billion shift and create quantum leaps? Yeah. Do I have that? No. Is it possible for me? Yes. Do I have some beliefs and some perceptions and some filters to remove to get there? Yes. Is that possible for me? Yes. Does it make me any less qualified to help them? No, not if I'm hearing direct information from their source that's in the highest and best interest, and taking my humanness and my beliefs and my filters, which is what I train in, not letting any of my ego or any type of filter or rose-colored glasses get in the way of the information I give to them. quite often I'm just as shocked about the information I receive that I give the client as they are, because it's not what I believe. It doesn't come from me. I'm the messenger. And so when it comes to my own stuff, it's not quite as easy to get neutral when you're right in the middle of unneutral, right? And so that's why I step out. I find someone outside of me. It doesn't matter if they're, ultimately, it doesn't matter if they're more successful or less successful. Just that I energetically vibe with them, and that they do what it, like, that in my mind, that they do similar to what it is that I do, because that's what I believe works. Even if they don't do everything that I can do, maybe they can be that person who shows me the belief that I have that no longer serves me, and then I can go and remove the belief. Maybe they can be that person who gives me the perception on why my business is going a different direction than I wanted it to, and then I can go and shift. Maybe they're that person who can give me a different perception as to why my body is in the shape that it's in, or whatever it is, and then I get to use that as an opportunity to shift. And I just, before I let you guys go, I just want to touch on the fact that, so now all of that energy that we cleared, we're just going to transform it to the most appropriate energy for you. And so before I let you guys go, I just want to touch on the fact that our human bodies and our minds, anything that is new or they're unaware of, sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable physically or mentally to go there because it's unfamiliar. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. And like an example that I'm getting is someone who's about to make a life-changing speech to an entire crowd of people is going to frickin' be scared or nervous or whatever it is before they get up on that stage. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong. So you may be thinking about taking that leap into that relationship or letting go of that relationship, or you may be thinking about quitting your job and doing your passion, or you may be thinking about like hiring that coach, but it feels really freaking uncomfortable. And it's like, this happens for me. That's why I laugh, because it felt a little uncomfortable. Like there was something inside of me before I got from an outsider. I was like, yeah, that looks good. And then as I got closer to saying yes, it was like, and everything inside me is saying, but you're going to have to change. And I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what that feels like, and it's fucking scary. And then I asked myself, and I put my hand on my heart, and I got back into, being in the moment of, but is this in my highest and best interest? And when I heard yes, I said yes. It didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. It didn't feel like what I thought it was going to feel like. We all have this fairy tale, and this comes from childhood of, when it's right, it's supposed to be all amazing and butterflies and easy and perfect. And yes, that is possible if that's how everything went in your life. But if that is not how it's been from day freaking one, from day zero, then that isn't necessarily how it will be. However, when you shift your mindset and get rid of what no longer serves, and put a new program in, just like a computer, it is easy. It can be easy. It can be instantaneous. It can happen over freaking night. And so with that said, I just want each and every one of you to enjoy that energetic shift. And I just want to send out love to all that's happening in the world and to each and every one of you who watches this. And for those of you who are joining me live, I will be back here, same time, same place, tomorrow. Different topic. Have a super fantastic rest of your day.